Following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Art. A to the RT. So many niggas want beef, go to Arby's. Not too many rappers in this game that can stop me feeling cocky. Cause my flow hella stocky. Yeah, and I does this shit. Flow sick, something like when your two cousins kiss. Ill. And y'all niggas know who run this shit. They out of breath. Tell the coach I need 100 bricks. Let me cook them in the oven quick. Take them out when these percussions kick. Yeah, and it was never really a discussion, kids. Trade you to another team like the Russians did. Whoa, what a bitches that be sucking dick. Hit me up, you know I love that shit. Yeah. And it's all go when I touch that bitch. Pass it to me, watch me clutch that shit. Swish, swish.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Up to Speed with Trip Simpson. I had to cut the last stream because I don't know what the hell was going on. I had some technical difficulties. But anyways, we are back in the building. Welcome to episode number 38 of Up to Speed with Trip Simpson. I am your host, Trip Simpson, in the building.
The first of his name, Lord of the Seven Kingdoms and Protector of the Realm.
That's right. And before we get this live stream off the ground tonight, first and foremost, you know, we got to handle business.
Family moving up in the business. I know you're going to look after family.
What family you talking about, Ice?
Fuck, I look invisible, nigga.
That's right. I'm not invisible, so do me a favor. If you are watching live on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that share button, tap that notification bell, and select all. If you're watching live on Facebook, hit that like button, hit that share button. If you're watching live on Twitter, hit that like button, hit that retweet button. Also, don't forget to comment in the comment section below. Let's go. Let's get it. We definitely gonna get this grill going tonight. We're going to talk about this Killer Mike arrest situation. And we're also going to talk about the new crime bill that's being rolled out by DC Mayor Muriel Bowser. It appears as if Muriel is sick and tired of the bullshit. First Democrat I've really seen step up and actually try to do something about the crime. So we're going to check that out a little later in the program. But first, we're going to get on this Killer Mike situation. Now, in case you haven't heard, rapper Killer Mike, who won, I think, 3 Grammys last night. One being for Rap Album of the Year, I believe. So yeah, this nigga was on cloud 9. Right after he won all those awards, he was arrested by LAPD. Yeah, that's right. He was arrested by LAPD. There's a whole lot of speculation as to what happened. Before we get into that, I'm going to show you guys the arrest footage, and then we'll go from there. Here we go. So that's Killer Mike.
Tell us about it.
All right, so there he is. That's Killer Mike being arrested at the Crypto.com arena in Los Angeles. All right, so of course, black social media was on fire talking about this shit last night. And everybody was quick to jump to conclusions. Everybody was quick to jump the gun without any facts. Now, from what I'm hearing, he got into some type of fight or some type of altercation with security or something, and that ultimately led to his arrest. But here's my thing. Black folks, we play the race card wrong. Every single time we play it wrong. It's either we playing it too quick, too often, too reckless, or a combination of the three. Now, of course, the liberal media was all on the racism bandwagon. We saw this morning with Charlemagne the guy on the Breakfast Club, giving LAPD the donkey of the day for doing their damn job. But my question is, why not give Killer Mike the donkey of the day for putting himself in a position to get locked up at the Grammys? Now, I ain't saying he did or didn't do anything. I'm just saying it's amazing to me how quick we are to judge with no facts. Case in point. Now, let me say this first. I rock with Angela Stanton King. I met her in person a few times. Wonderful lady. But I think even she may have jumped the gun a little bit on this one last night. Like I said, this ain't a diss or anything towards her. I think just sometimes we should hold our statements until the facts are out. Check this video out real quick. This is from Angela Stanton King. Let's get to it. Shit.
I'm just now getting reports on my phone after learning that Killer Mike, who just won 3 Grammys, just gave an awesome acceptance speech about believing in yourself and not giving up and keep going. Killer Mike, who just won 3 Grammys, was escorted from the Grammys in handcuffs. This is now circulating all over the internet. And I have a question because I'm trying to figure out what this is about. Reports were coming in. Some people were saying it's for old misdemeanor, but come to find out, they're saying that he got into some type of altercation with a security guard. I don't know what the hell happened. All I know is that the other day, my brother was on that talk show and they asked him to endorse Joe Biden. He would not endorse Joe Biden. And now we see the next day, after a black man, we talking about racism, we talking about racial tensions in this country, a black man, okay, who finally won 3 Grammys. You mean to tell me that y'all just destroyed all that by escorting that man from the Grammys in handcuffs? So is this really about Killer Mike having a misdemeanor, or is this really about Killer Mike getting into some type of altercation with a security guard, or is this really because Killer Mike refused to endorse Joe Biden? So when y'all talk about black men and why black men don't get involved and why they don't do more in politics, you know why. Because every time a real one stand up, they find a way to kill him or imprison him. So black people, we gonna have to find a way to free ourselves.
All right, now I want to stop it right there. Now, like I said, I like Angela Stanton King. I pretty much agree with her points for most of the things that she stands for. However, I do think she's wrong here, respectfully. Now, do I think the Biden administration would stoop this low? Hell yeah, I think they would. But that's a hell yeah, and it's also a no. See, this was a misdemeanor offense. And Killer Mike only spent a few hours at best in jail. If they was really out to get this man, best believe the consequences would have been probably way more dire than this. But see, more importantly, it lessens our credibility when we cry foul over stupid shit like this. This nigga just won 3 Grammys out of no motherfucking where. That's a whole different conversation. Because the only 2 Killer Mike songs I know is the 2 that I heard on Madden. The Whole World with Outkast and the Noodles, No Noodles for You. That's the only fucking Killer Mike songs I know. But this nigga got best rap album of the year. I don't know. But anyway, out of nowhere. But anyway, we out here falling for the okie doke. The bigger question is, number one, how did he win these Grammys? Who signed off on it and why? Now look, I don't think Killer Mike is a horrible person. But I'm on the fence with this nigga when it comes to a lot of shit. Now, I was watching my man Angry Man. Shout out to the Angry Man. I was watching the Angry Man's live stream earlier, and he brought up a lot of good points about Killer Mike. One of those being the time Killer Mike killed a little black boy's dreams of being president in the little three-part documentary he came out with on Netflix. But then after he killed the little boy's dreams, he also didn't say anything to the other kids of other races who had crazy dreams. Like one kid said he wanted to be a scientist and come up with a potion to cure cancer. One kid said he wanted to be a scientist and turn his parents into superheroes or some shit like that. He didn't kill their dreams, but he went out of his way to kill the little black boy's dreams of being the president of the United States. But if you want to go through that whole conversation, you can check out Angry Man's channel. It was a great discussion. It was like a 4-hour show, so I didn't get to really catch everything. I saw about 45 minutes of it. Great conversation. But nonetheless, he has some great points. So there's that. Now, my main issue with Killer Mike is a little different. My main issue with Killer Mike is how he manipulates black people into going along with his race-based financial grifts. His race-based financial grifts. What do I mean by that? Well, if you watch that documentary he did, think about it. He basically spent the whole 3 hours and some change on all 3 episodes talking all this blackity-black bullshit to dupe you silly niggas into buying some gang-affiliated soda pop. Real shit though. He definitely did that. It was called Cripa-Cola and Blood Pop.
Blood clot.
And that shit flopped. He even got Jay-Z to endorse that shit at one point, and like I said, it still flopped. And this is why I tell you guys, stop making these Negroes your heroes. Rappers and comedians should not be your go-to guide for politics and finance. But for some strange reason, this has been Killer Mike's MO for the past 6 to 8 years. Now, we ain't even gonna get on this politics tonight. That's a whole other show that I ain't got time for. But we gonna talk about how him and other hip-hop influencers, for the lack of better terms, dupe you niggas into race-based financial grifts. So first up, I'd like to discuss this whole Greenwood bank situation. Now, as you may have heard, rapper Killer Mike co-founded a bank, quote-unquote bank, with 2 other guys from ATL. I think one was a former mayor and the other is some entrepreneur from the area. Anyways, they went on a nationwide tour campaigning to get funding to start this black-owned bank. So what we're gonna do is, real quick, we're gonna take a look at a few videos just to get you guys up to speed with the situation, and then we'll get into our commentary after that. So let's go ahead and get to it. I'm gonna play the first video. Give me 1 second.
Particularly, we've seen
Killer Mike's black and...
All right, here we go.
Latinx banking platform got a $45 million boost. I'm Asia Sky for Hip Hop DX, and check this out. Killer Mike's digital banking platform, Greenwood, has secured over $45 million in its latest round of funding. Greenwood, a bank geared towards Black and Latinx people that was launched in 2020 by Killer Mike alongside former Atlanta Mayor Andrew J. Young and Ryan Glover, secured the massive investment mostly from Pendulum, an investment advisory firm. Additional investors include Circano Management, Cohen Circle, the George Kaiser Family Foundation, and Next Era Energy. The organizations join the likes of Bank of America, City Ventures, PNC, Popular Truist Ventures, TTV Capital.
Make sure you pay attention to those bank names. Pay attention to them.
And and Wells Fargo, who backed Greenwood as investors at launch. Per a press release, the digital banking platform already has over 100,000 customers whose funding will accelerate Greenwood's vision of closing the racial wealth gap and providing the tools and education needed to empower the Black and Latino communities to build generational wealth. Greenwood has started out with savings and spendings accounts, with Mike and his team providing Apple, Samsung, and Android Pay features, mobile check deposits, peer-to-peer transfers, virtual debit cards, and free ATM usage in over 30,000 locations. Additionally, Greenwood intends to award $10,000 grants to Black or Latinx customers who own small businesses. These grants will be allotted on a monthly basis. So what do you think about Killer Mike's bank getting $45 million more in funding? And how much do you think this will help Black and Latinx communities achieve the goal of generating more?
All right, so there we have it. Now the next video I wanted to play, it actually was a 60 minute from ABC video. I'm not going to play that because last time I tried to do some shit like that, they fucking struck my stream down real quick. So I'm not going to play that. So I'm just going to go ahead and get into the next one. Hold on real quick. Here we go.
We talked about Greenwood Financial maybe about 6 months ago. This is a digital banking platform launched by the rapper Killer Mike a while ago, which was designed specifically to serve Black and Latinx communities. They now have announced a major haul in its Series A funding round. We're talking about $40 million here from some of the country's biggest lenders. Now, as part of our Unequal Recovery series, we'd like to now welcome back to this program rapper, activist, and banker Michael Render, Killer Mike, as well as Andrew Young III, who is the co-founder and board member as well of Greenwood. Mike, welcome back to the program. Let's start off specifically with where's the money coming from?
Thank you for having me. Some of the biggest banks have jumped on board. And actually, if you go to my page, IG, just Killer Mike, you can see him. I put up a whole list. I don't want to leave out anyone. Someone I do want to tip my hat to, besides the bigger banks that are there, is one of the most successful rap labels in the country right now. Comes out of Atlanta. It's called QT, and they all.
Now pay attention to that. Now he's telling you he's got Quality Control Records as one of the investors in this bank. So you got the founder of the Migos and 21 Savage as one of the lead investors and pioneers of your bank. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a goddamn joke. but I'm gonna let it continue.
So are investors in that bank. So as you people come to the page and check it out, you get to see which of the big banks is putting their money where their mouth is and actually saying we're here. And you get to see that hip hop beyond singing and dancing and saying get with this banking platform is putting their money where their mouth is, because we wish to see more fairness and equity in the financial sector.
And Andrew, I mean,
So I want to slow down real quick. Let me get this straight. So in order to end financial racism and end the traditional racism that they claim banks have been practicing against Black and Latino communities since the inception of the United States of America, in order to fix that, they need to start a Black-owned bank that's funded by the same banks that practice racism.
Blood clot.
You can't make this shit up, man. You can't make it up. Let's go.
We just put up on the screen here graphics of some of the banks involved in this: Wells Fargo, PNC, Visa, Bank of America as well. When you go into these banks, so you go into these conference rooms virtually or whatever it was, what's sort of the selling point that you had to make to them? Was it hard, or were they sort of eager to sort of jump on board with a concept like Greenwood?
They were very positive about what we were offering. And the idea was very simple. We're here to remove the bias in banking. We're here to close the wealth gap. And we're confident that we have the skills to do it with the people that we've put in place and the investors we've been able to attract.
Mike, on that note, how are you thinking about financial education as well? Particularly, we've seen rates creep up just a little bit. So you want to be able to lend at affordable rates, but how do you also ensure that financial education is all inclusive as well?
Well, the beautiful thing about financial education is it's kind of like...
Now, watch how stupid they think we are. So you mean to tell me you're starting a black bank and this bitch comes on here and asks is there financial education involved, as if black people are too stupid to know how to use a bank. This is what ultimately they're getting at. This is the problem that a lot of people have with the whole DEI argument, that diversity, equity, inclusion argument. Literally, by accepting a mentality like that, you're calling yourself stupid. It's almost like, if I don't know if you ever went to school with anybody that got ADHD or anybody that has an IEP or anything like that. People who have ADHD, and I'm not calling them stupid or anything like that, I'm just using this as an example. If you have ADHD, you're allowed extra time to take tests, and you're giving extra considerations academically as opposed to everyone else. So as a race, by accepting this type of mentality, we're basically ADHD as a race. I mean, I know that sounds fucked up, but I mean, this is literally the box that we're putting ourselves in. I don't know about you, but most black people I know are smart enough to use a bank. But if you watch shit like this on TV, they'll have you believing that we aren't.
Like learning to swim in the deep south. Your cousins take you to the lake and you get in.
Okay.
And part of.
Let's go back real quick, because I don't want to skip over that point he just tried to make. Listen to Killer Mike's explanation on this.
Get in.
Okay.
His explanation.
And part of an ongoing financial education. I happen to know there's something coming down the line from the private sector where people from who own major corporations are going to be assisting schools and bringing financial education very early. So look for that to come out. In terms of the unbanked, part of banking and learning how to bank is just being able to bank. And what we have is banking deserts, right along with food deserts, in many working class communities that are black, brown, and in the deep south, even white. What this gives people the opportunity to do is have their bank right in their hand and begin their financial education in a very simple way of actually being able to deposit money without fees, take out money without fees, and to begin the act of banking. You guys still there? To begin the act of banking. So along with financial literacy programs that are not Greenwood, I'm associated, that I'm supporting the community. I also am supporting the unbanked getting banked, because there's no better way to learn a bike than get on that bike with training.
Bo, similar question to you here. We're getting a lot of questions about how you're specifically working with FDIC insured banks as well, partnering with some other banks to make sure this really does continue to be successful.
Yeah, Greenwood is working closely with minority-owned banks. If you go to bankgreenwood.com, you'll see the whole program that we've laid out of how we want to be the catalyst between big banks and community banks, where we attract people who are in these, as Mike said, banking deserts, and just make financial services readily available to Black and Hispanic communities.
All right, that's enough of that nonsense. So there we go. We got these guys pitching this concept of a black bank. That's not really a bank. More like a glorified rush card. But nonetheless, somehow they were able to raise massive amounts of funding from record label execs. And oh yeah, lenders that include Bank of America, PNC, JP Morgan Chase, MasterCard, Visa, and Wells Fargo. Literally 6 of the top entities that could arguably be blamed for the decline of black banking throughout the entirety of America. Sounds like a winner. Or is it? Now, let's go back to a few of the lenders they just named. PNC, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. Keep those banks in mind. So what I want to do right now, though, what I want to do is I want to go to their actual website, which is gogreenwood.com. I want to show you what their actual website says. And granted, they changed it because I've been following them for a while. But check this out. Check this out. Let me make sure you guys can see this. Look at this shit. Greenwood is not a bank. Greenwood is not a bank. Banking services provided by Coastal Community Bank member FDIC. Now, this is interesting because before they put this on there, right? Before, when they were lying to people and telling people that this was a goddamn bank, before they basically were like, they had a disclaimer saying we are insured by FDIC, by banks under the FDIC, basically saying they're not FDIC members because they're not a bank, but their partners are. See, they got sued, and a part of the stipulations behind the lawsuit was that they can't call themselves a bank anymore because this is a goddamn scam. But let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's scroll. Let's keep scrolling down because I want to get into something else that's interesting here. Greenwood's founding team. Right? Greenwood's founding team. You have co-founder and board member Andrew Young, co-founder Killer Mike Render, and founder and chairman Ryan Glover. Why am I reading this off to you? I'll get to it in a second. Let's keep reading. Now, here's what matters. Look at the board and the management team. Ryan Glover, who we saw up top, co-founder and chairman. Paul Judge, co-founder and board member. Mike McCluskey, chief financial officer. Rachel Hamilton, chief marketing officer. James Gaithwaite, chief technology officer. Ladies and gentlemen, these three individuals that I just named, who you can see on the screen, are who really owns this bank. The rest of the Negroes that you see around them are being used just so they can say that it's a black-owned business. They're being used to front you the deception. This is why I keep saying, when people are like, man, you only talk about black people on your show and this and that. No. The reason that you have to talk about these black people is because they're the ones putting up the front. They're the ones doing the bidding of the people who are stealing your money. They're the ones. Now, why am I stressing this? Because this is the board of directors. I don't know if you know about a corporation. This is the board of directors right here. All right. So these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These 10 people have a vote and a say-so as to the direction that this company goes. Notice who you don't see on the board and management team. You don't see Michael Killer Mike Render. You don't see him because he doesn't have anything to do with this operation. He's nothing more than just a mere influencer, or basically, he basically, this is an endorsement deal for him. It's a goddamn endorsement deal. They use him just like they use Jay-Z with the whole, Brooklyn Nets situation. They told y'all Jay-Z was the owner of the Brooklyn Nets. Come to find out, he only owned 1/15 of a percentage of the Brooklyn Nets. But they plastered him all everywhere to get the residents of Brooklyn to agree to build the stadium and get the shit gentrified out of them. But y'all niggas praise Jay-Z. Y'all niggas praise Killer Mike. But look at what they get used to do to you. It says clear as day on this website, Greenwood is not a bank. But pretense, but since you guys don't pay attention, they got you guys out here using a glorified app that simply holds your goddamn money and charges you fees to do such. All it does is basically playing the middleman between you and a real bank. The only difference is they don't get the benefit of gambling with your money. The real bank, who they claim is racist, gets to take your money and gamble with it, while you think you're banking with a black bank. All of the loan opportunities and community development crap that Killer Mike and them are lying about would be, in theory, coming from the same banks that they claim are leaving you out in the first place. These Negroes at Greenwood Bank are nothing more than an unnecessary middleman. And to top it off, Killer Mike is basically being dishonest about his own actual role in the company. It only lists him as a founder, but we see who the CFO is. And like I said, technically this man ain't nothing but a paid influencer or a glorified brand ambassador. And they got him on the road pitching all this bullshit to the black community. But wait, it gets even better. Let me bring you to this Washington Post article. Here you go. Can y'all see that? Bring you this Washington Post article. This y'all man, Killer Mike. What happened to Wall Street's post-George Floyd bet on black banking? After raising millions, Greenwood has failed to meet some of its initial goals, but has acquired a portfolio of companies outside of the world of finance. Let's get to it. In 2020, Paul Judge and Ryan Glover, both seasoned black entrepreneurs, started to work on a plan to help solve one of America's most intractable social problems: the yawning wealth gap between white households and black and Latino families. After facing decades of discrimination by banks, black and Latino customers need a safe, welcoming place to put their money, they argued, and they developed a plan for launching Greenwood, a banking platform rather than a traditional bank. Launched amid the racial justice protests that followed the police killing of George Floyd. Let me stop right there, because that's one thing we also need to look into. This is what these people do. Whenever there's a major event that the media hypes up and over-exaggerates, your black celebrities, the bottom feeders, come up with this bullshit and they try to hit you with some sort of race-based policy that they need your help funding so that they can help the community. As a matter of fact, the name of the bank is interesting. Greenwood Bank. They use the name Greenwood because Greenwood is the town that was burnt down in the Tulsa riots in Tulsa, Oklahoma, back in the early 19th century. Earlier 20th century. Greenwood was the town that the Tulsa race riots happened in. So that's why they use the name Greenwood. They try to trigger something in you emotionally to want to be attached to this bullshit. The same thing that they did with, that Jay Morrison did with the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. Same thing. Attach racial trauma, take your money. Same play over and over again. Dr. Umar Johnson does it to you all the time too. But anyway, let's get back to the article. So anyway, launched amid the racial protests that followed the police killing of George Floyd in 2020, Greenwood quickly drew support from prominent black celebrities, including music producer Jermaine Dupri and banking giants such as Wells Fargo and JP Morgan Chase. Glover and Judge boasted that 700,000 customers had signed up for Greenwood's waitlist before it launched products. But in the 3 years since, and after a second round of funding that valued the company at $325 million, Greenwood has failed to meet some of its initial goals. According to review of public statements and interviews with company leaders and former employees, less than a quarter, about 150,000 of the people on the waiting list opened accounts, and Greenwood has been slow to launch promised financial products, including credit cards and business loans. So we're 3 years into this bank and they haven't done a goddamn thing they promised besides just be a rush card. That's all it is, a glorified rush card. Instead, the company has acquired a portfolio of companies outside of the world of finance, including a private club in Atlanta and a website that builds itself as the Black LinkedIn. So we're going to stop that right there. We're going to stop that right there. So there we go. There we have it. Greenwood Bank has never, was never, and will never be a goddamn bank. Once again, black people lets the influence of hip hop via Killer Mike and other music industry investors fool you into thinking they were helping black folks out while taking their goddamn money. But as I said earlier, doesn't this remind you of the Tulsa Real Estate Fund? The fund that raised $15 million and now has less than $500,000 left and zero assets. And who did they use to con you into that mess? Rappers and hip hop media personalities. I mean, the play is actually rather simple, like I said earlier. Bring up a black tragedy that happened about 100 years ago, attach financial literacy to it, name the scam after said tragedy, collect millions of dollars. Black folks, here's the deal. You have to first understand that attaching race to every goddamn facet of your life is only going to keep you in a box. Always be wary of these leaders who want to sell you something on the basis of race. See, as soon as a nigga started that blackity black business talk, I get the hell away from him. A real businessman or a real businesswoman knows that if you want to make it in a capitalist society, you got to be ready to take everybody's money. And let's look at this logically. Why would anyone in their right mind want to solely target the least successful economic group in the country? Right then and there, the scam alert and red flags should be evident. Never listen to anyone that tells you before you crawl, you got to run. Understand what I'm saying? Understand what I'm saying? Never listen to anyone who tells you shit like that. Running before you crawl. Never listen to anyone who advises anything like that. Now, what do I mean by that? What do I mean by running before you crawl? Starting a black bank is equivalent to trying to run before you crawl. The first thing we need to learn in general, or relearn, is how to maintain an intact family unit. From there, we move to intact communities and so on and so on. All this build the black dollar talk, that shit is asinine. Especially since we don't produce anything. Shit. Oh yeah. And real quick, before we switch subjects, this Killer Mike situation is not with the bank is not a singular situation. Let's not forget. He also got He got caught promoting and dealing with that creep Caesar Pena and DJ Envy. He also was mixed up in that situation. Don't believe me? Let's get to it. Let's get to it. What's that video at? Got DJ Envy and Caesar Pena. Here we go, right here.
Envy, don't worry, he'll be back. But I'm with my man Caesar right now. I said, Caesar, you got to show me the gold mines that surround me. So I grew up here. We're on Martin Luther King. We right in Adamsville. I grew up in these apartments doing some things that should have got my ass locked up.
Let me start that over.
I have hijacked and kidnapped DJ Envy. Don't worry, he'll be back. But I'm with my man Caesar right now. I said, Caesar, you got to show me the gold mines that surround me. So I grew up here. We're on Martin Luther King. We right in Adamsville. I grew up in these apartments doing some things that should have got my ass locked up forever. But now I'm here today learning how to invest. So Caesar, what we got?
Got a 28-unit building.
28-unit building.
Looks like a home run to me. 28 two bedrooms, townhouse style.
Yup.
We see opportunity down here.
See opportunity.
That's all we see.
And we're not going to pay a lot of money for it.
Oh, no. That's key. Under market value.
That's what I'm learning from him. Guys like Kenny, shout out. Appreciate y'all. And I'm about to go ride around, look at some more shit. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, what's there left to say? I mean, I guess there's no need to beat a dead horse at this point. I mean, if you're still taking financial advice from rappers, anyone on the Breakfast Club, Earn Your Leisure, or World Star Hip Hop ads, you deserve what you get at this point. So, moving on, we are going to get to our final topic of the night, which is the new criminal laws being rolled out in Washington, D.C. All right, so I haven't really had a chance to read the actual changes to any of these laws, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at this IG page. What is it called? Campaign Zero. That's where I saw this. I saw this at yesterday as I was scrolling through my Instagram feed. So this is according to Campaign Zero. These are the new laws being proposed by Mayor Bowser and Councilwoman Brooke Pinto. Let's do it. Face coverings criminalized. Any items worn that cover most of the face are now criminalized with detention or arrest as the penalty. That includes, but is not limited to, hoodies, bandanas, and hijabs. The police will be sole deciders of which face coverings are allowable. I mean, I ain't got no problem with that. Let's get to the next one. Gatherings of 2 or more people criminalized. The police can now designate any neighborhood as high risk, allowing them to arrest innocent people for gathering in groups of 2 or more. If police suspect they might commit a crime, they can be fined or imprisoned. Number 3, killing car chase suspects now legal. Police can now kill suspects during car chases, a practice that is currently banned. The police will become the sole decision maker about life and death, regardless of guilt or innocence. Number 4, body camera restrictions. The plan will overturn current policy that prohibits the police from viewing their own body camera footage before they write statements. This has nothing to do with lowering the crime rate. Fear is now cause for arrest. Anyone wearing an item that covers most of the face who causes another person to feel afraid can now be arrested regardless of the person's actions. Number 6, active duty status of officers is now secret. The public will no longer be able to know if an officer who was found guilty to have engaged in misconduct is still on active duty or not. Number 7, Show your papers Metro law. The police will now be able to immediately arrest anyone suspected of misconduct while riding the Metro, who refuses to share their name and home address. For instance, if a plainclothes officer demands your address on the Metro, not telling them could now lead to arrest. Discarding a gun will become a crime. If you legally possess a gun, which is already a crime, the moment that you drop the gun or put the bullets down, you've committed 2 more additional crimes. So if you keep holding the gun, you'll get shot by the police. And if you drop the gun, you're now getting a longer sentence. All right. Let's get into this. All right. So like I said, I haven't had a chance to read the actual changes to any of these laws. But just by taking their word for it, and I can honestly say I have no real issue here. Now, do some of these laws seem like violations of the Constitution? Yes. And if they get challenged in the court of law and overturned, so be it. However, black folks, cut the motherfucking bullshit. I work in public safety, so you can't fool me. I don't blame the mayor for implementing none of this shit. All right, DC has been totally out of control since 2020, and niggas have taken full advantage of the fact that the police department is suffering from low numbers and little to no ability to adequately police the city because of that George Floyd defund the police bullshit. Downtown is pretty much an open air drug market. Shit, what is it? It's filled with what? Venezuelan immigrants and grimy homeless motherfuckers. Honestly, what choice does she have with the Capitals and the Wizards on their way out? What choice she got? Honestly, what's she gonna do? This is like her only attempt at trying to stop the impending white flight. This is her only attempt, so she's got to get tough on crime. So, if this means your badass kids might get football numbers in prison or even shot and killed out here bullshitting with the law, so be it. If you don't want to be affected, stop doing stupid shit. That's it and that's all. Shit, over the past 20 years, there have been billions and billions and billions of dollars invested into DC. And if you think them people about to sit up here and let it all flop without attempting to salvage some of this shit, you lost your goddamn mind. You niggas kill me acting like DC police are just like tyrants out here terrorizing the community. It ain't them. It's your badass kids. All they trying to do is make it safe for us taxpayers to enjoy the city that we fund. While you niggas sit up here in free apartments, eat free groceries, evade taxes, and rob, carjack, and sometimes even kill those of us who are doing the right thing. I mean, I could talk about this all day. Those are just my thoughts off the break. Like I said, I haven't read any of these laws. So I can't confirm or deny what any of the shit I just read from that Instagram post is saying. But if it's true, it is what it is, man. We earned it. We have more than earned it. Because the city's out of control. But anyway, I want to take some calls tonight. So ladies and gentlemen, click the link in the YouTube description or click the link I'm getting ready to post in the chat. Also, you could, if you're on Facebook, you can find it in the description also. Should be able to find it in the Twitter description as well. Anyway, once you click that, you'll be placed in queue. But other than that, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Like I said, click the link. We'll put you in queue. And when we come back from the break, we'll get these calls popping. If we have any. If we have any.
My son so dumb, my son so dumb, yeah. My son so dumb, IQ 21. He tried to make friends, but they call him Ching Chong. He eat the wonton, but he fat like Kim Jong. He's so ugly when he smile, he look like the King Kong. My son useless, can't play ping pong. He tried to get a date with the girl so young, but she said hell no, cause he not that handsome. And my son so broke, can't buy the dim sum. Yeah. My son so dumb, my son so dumb, yeah. My son is so dumb, yeah. He texts Mingly, but she pick me. Too bad he broke, can't buy the milk tea. If he talk back to me, then he get his ass beat. Cause if you try me, then I do the Tai Chi. Just listen to your mommy and go eat the kimchi. Or I sell your kidney for $2.50. Do not think I forgot you got being Chinese. Ancestor look down on you, go say sorry. Yeah. My son so dumb, my son so dumb, yeah. My son is so dumb, yeah. My son so dumb, IQ 21. He tried to make friends, but they call him Ching Chong. He eat the wonton, but he fat like Kim Jong. He's so ugly when he smile, he look like the King Kong. My son useless, can't play ping pong. He tried to get a date with the girl so young, but she said hell no, cause he not the handsome. And my son so broke, can't buy the dim sum. Yeah. My son so dumb, my son so dumb, yeah. My son is so dumb, yeah.
Motherfuckers in Washington, D.C. telling me Trump ain't about this, Trump ain't about that. My boy BD on fucking Lamb running them. They tell me his brother ain't putting in no work. Shut the fuck up. Your brothers don't know shit. All y'all motherfuckers talking about Don Trump ain't no hitter, Don Trump ain't this, Don Trump ain't that. Shut the fuck up. Who do you think freed Wheezy? Who do you think freed Kodak? Donald Trump, Big D. We got churches in Georgia and shit. I don't play with a motherfucking Trump like that. Mega baby. These bitches love Donnie, and they know it. Fuck a whip by them, boy. You gon' get fucked over. Biden and Harris, they gon' change your gender. Kick them out the White House. Harris, we gon' send her. They do it all for Donnie. You boys ain't making no noise. You know that I'm an orange boy. Your clique is full of trans boys. God, y'all some they thems. God, y'all some they thems. Mega, yeah, we right, boy. Mega, we them white boys. Vote Donnie T. Trump 2024. Running the country straight out of cell block C. I'm facing like 100 years and shit. The only way I'm gonna be free is if I win this shit. Vote Donnie T.
All right, we are back. And it doesn't look like we have any calls. So ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go ahead and close it out. Great discussion we had tonight. Kept it under an hour. That's how we're going to do it from now on. We're going to try to keep it under an hour unless we have calls. But yeah, so yeah, we talked about Killer Mike and we talked about the new laws in DC. So, you know, whether you agree with my take or you disagree, do me a favor. If you're watching on the replay, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tap that notification bell, and select all. Also, don't forget to tell us what you think in the comments section below. But other than that, I got nothing else for you. For myself and the rest of the crew here at Trippin' Ain't Easy TV, peace out. Catch you on the next one.